Thanks again for having joined us for neurologic warm-up, joint mobilizing through movement. Again, my name is Paul Ciske. Now, what we were doing in that session was to make the mapping of our body in the brain as clear as possible, so that there's greater performance in the body, greater flexibility, strength, and coordination. There's certain things that blurs our maps in the brain: lack of movement, injury, poor sensory input, pain. And if those maps aren't clear, that's a threat to the nervous system because we can't move as effectively. And the brain's all about survival. If we don't move well, we're not as likely to survive. There were two main techniques we used in this session. One was sensory stimulation, and the other was joint mobility movement. The sensory part we didn't spend as much time on, but we wanted to stimulate the different type of receptors in the body to get clear mapping in the brain. And so we could use tapping, we can use compression, pressure, vibration at different frequencies, light touch, hair follicle stimulation, warm, cool, tickle, itch. These are all different receptors in the body. And as they say in Z Health, sensory drives motor. So the better our sensory input, the more the brain can predict how to move and move better. Then we went into doing circular range of motion for different joints. I'll just give you an example of the hip. We did a big circular motion with the hip in both directions. The reason we use circular is the brain stays more alert when we're doing circular motion than straight linear motion, which would be linear would be straight back and forth. Now, when we're doing that, we don't want to cause any pain or discomfort because that's giving the wrong messages to the brain. So go slower, smaller movement, or avoid certain positions if it causes pain or discomfort. And what we're trying to do as we move is trying to pay attention if there are any glitches, discrepancies, deficiencies, discoordination. We all of a sudden speed up. That's probably we're avoiding some area that's not mapped as well in our brain. We also look for flat spots in the circle, like I can't get to certain regions. That's all telling us that the mapping isn't really clear. So how do we improve it? One, we can put in some sensory input into that joint. We can the hip joint, rub it, pat it, give different stimulation and see if that changes the motion. The other is to practice the motion itself, going into those ranges slow and controlled so we can get better mapping of that movement in the brain. So as I said, if you don't use it, you lose it, both for joint mobility. Never go there, doesn't know the territory. And also then we lose our brain mapping. With less clarity, again, we'll have poor, not as controlled, and not as efficient motion. And you can do that system in any joint in the body, doing big circular motion, and then doing those corrections through sensory and repeating the motion slow and controlled. So thanks for your attention and look forward to our next session. Thanks.